Darko Мігус, власник фірми Мігус Autowork, бажають своїм клієнтам і всій українській громаді веселих і радісних свят. Христос Воскрес!
Sponsored by Ukrainian Credit Union. Believe it or not, it's me, Ron Cahoot, with
Stay Ukrainian, my friends!
Stay Ukrainian, my friends.
This evening, we're invited into the life and times of Vasyl Kurelyu, a man who understood community. Vasyl left his village in Ukraine in 1928. He arrived in Canada at the age of 18, determined not only to build a better life for himself, not only to tirelessly champion a strong, vibrant Ukrainian-Canadian community around him, but also to become a force of influence in the mainstream social, commercial, and political arenas of his adopted cities. What followed was a life, well, worthy of a film. So 4 years ago, Vasyl's daughter, Oksana Kurelyu, began researching and writing an extraordinary tribute. Working alongside her in every facet of this complex project was Oksana's husband, John Leeson.
Well, I'm sitting in the Spadina Theater, and it's on Spadina Road too, which I guess they named the street after the theater. And I'm sitting with Oksana Kurelyu, who is premiering a film this evening on Ukrainians that in Sudbury, but specifically your father.
That's right.
Affectionately known, Vasyl, but affectionately known as Action Bill. Mm-hmm. Why?
Action Bill? He was nicknamed Action Bill in Sudbury because of him being such a very active member in the Ukrainian community and the Sudbury community at large.
He came from Ukraine.
Yes, he did.
Directly to Sudbury?
No.
No, nobody does that, do they?
No, he came in 1928 and he spent a few weeks out west, Saskatchewan. Then he made his way to Thunder Bay, known as Fort William at that time, and worked as a water boy in the lumber camp. And then made his way to Sudbury. And then after, a few ups and downs, that's where he stayed and that's where he worked.
So he went to Saskatchewan. After Saskatchewan, any places?
Yeah, he didn't. I don't think he wanted to stay and do any more farming.
Yeah, it's too flat.
Too flat, yes.
So Sudbury, instrumental, I understand, in the building of UNO?
That's right. He was one of the founding members of UNO, yes, and the Sudbury Ukrainian Cooperative and the community New Credit Union. Yep.
Which is now UCU.
That's right. Yeah.
So when they started UNO, what year would that have been?
1933.
The building that they're in now?
Not the building although that building that is the bottom is the first floor, the basement floor, the original, but they built on top of it. Yeah, the one that is sitting now on Frood Road. Yeah.
Now I know it's your dad, and you know a lot about him, but how does one, over you were saying 3 to 5 years, how does one compile film footage and stuff like that? Your dad, your father passed away in 2004, correct?
Right.
So how do you compile that stuff?
With great difficulty and patience and luck. We had a lot of luck in finding a lot of archival footage. We also had a lot of family kind of photographs and also stumbled upon a lot of information about my dad that we didn't know about just by Googling. Good old Google provided a lot of information for us.
Your father would be proud to know he's on Google, huh?
I don't think he would know what Google is.
Half the time, neither do I. It's all right. So you assemble all this information.
Yeah.
Now, you and your husband put this together.
That's correct.
What was his job? To do what you were told?
That's right.
How did he work? How did that work out?
Well, we're still married.
Good for you. Good for you.
But it was, yeah, you had to find what the story. I think one of the things that you got, maybe you don't know about the story, is that my father's famous for reciting Ivan Franko
Yes.
on many occasions. So what I wanted to do was not just to, there were a couple of stories that I wanted to tell. The story of my father, the story of why he was so involved with Ivan Franko, and also how that affected the Ukrainian community and how he affected the Ukrainian community through Ivan Franko and also his personality.
I know an Ivan Franko. He's an architect. It's not the same one, is it?
Not the same
'Cause he
one.
doesn't write poetry. And well, that's yes. Okay, so you put all this together now, and you assemble this. I would suppose that you're assembling this in Toronto, correct?
Yes, in our dining room.
Oh, really?
Yes,
So, and the compilation of the film and the actual making of the film, where was that done?
in our dining room.
Really?
And yes.
Did your husband get to buy all kinds of new fandangled gear to do this
No.
on his Mac?
I know it's a PC, which is almost dead, by the way.
Well, yeah. You put that many Ukrainians into a computer and the thing's going to collapse after a while. So you put it all together there.
Yes, in our home, yeah.
Incredible. That's marvelous. So how much arguing did you guys do during the... Yeah, okay. That's what I figured. Because, you know, it's more... You think it's more difficult that you were married than it would have been if you had just hired him?
It would have been different.
It would have been different.
I guess you could tell him different things if you hired him, or did you tell him the same things being married to him?
I think the fact that he knew my dad, and I think that, and liked my dad, you know.
It was just decisions on film and what worked and what didn't work and what?
Yeah.
What?
I
What are
mean,
you talking about?
There were times, you know, when it was, you know, yes, this, no, yes, but we would generally come to an agreement eventually.
But being your father, it must have been your call.
I always said that I'm the director.
Yeah, in many ways.
Okay, so how do you direct? Nobody.
It's really decisions.
It's
more
decision
like
making,
decisions.
and yeah, decision making.
And you did this on a PC. What kind of a program did you use?
It's Power Director, CyberLink. It's basically a consumer video editor.
How did you learn how to use it?
A little trial and error. We've done little small video projects in the past, you know, small 15-minute, 10-minute kind of things. And so that's where we started with. And I will say the only thing we did have, you were asking if we did it all in the dining room, except for one aspect. We did have Oras Sushko rework the sound.
I think more stories need to be told about Ukrainian people who have lived in Canada and have developed Canada. And one of the things that I would always promote about this one is the story about a Ukrainian community builder in Northern Ontario, not in the prairies.
Northern Ontario, yeah.
Yeah, it's all those stories.
We hear
Every
stories.
Ukrainian was in a sheepskin coat in the West,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. But this is a Northern Ontario story, and I'm proud of that.
And thank you very much for doing this.
Thank you for
And
having
thank you.
me
Oh,
on
it
your
was,
program.
believe it, it was my pleasure.
Well,
And stay Ukrainian, my friends.
Stay Ukrainian, my friends. Stay
Sponsored by Ukrainian Credit Union. Believe it or not, it's me, Ron Cahoot, with
Ukrainian, my friends.
Stay Ukrainian, my friends. Still needs an accordion.
З нагоди Великого свята Воскресення Господнього фірма Чолкані Степчук Chartered Professional Accountants, податкові, бухгалтерські і аудиторські послуги бажає вам свяченого яєчка, смачної паски, у мирі та щасті, добрі та любові. Святкуйте Великдень в родинному колі. Христос Воскрес!